Dunk, 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 dunk. Sorry, I mean, I don't know. I've been so congested this last couple of days. I get very congested during every season change, but it's been so inconsistent the last couple of days. It goes from like 12 degrees outside Fahrenheit to like -3 Celsius, I guess, um, to like 60 Fahrenheit, which is just wild to me. And then on the next day, I'll back to putting on a stinking actual winter jacket. So, donkey donkey, dunk 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 donkey dunk. Haven't come this far, there can only be one answer. Oh, where were we? I've only gone like 4 minutes. Weapon used to kill the victim, with not the Shinshishido. A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was the murder weapon? Well, because Mystic Amy was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, it's the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Shinshido was the murder weapon. Why is she wearing wood boots? Order, wah! So maybe the Shinshido was not the murder weapon. Even if that's the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. History here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. That is true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found. That's... Answer the question, Ms. Von Karma. No evidence of that kind was found. She's wearing wood shoes. Another mystery to throw into the pile. Trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me, can I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking, it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was... Get to it! Just over there. Excuse me. What exactly are you going on about here? The murder weapon, I mean, maybe. I think I might know where the sword was disposed of. You what? Well then, I think we need to hear testimony from you once more time, sister. Hey, sister. What else? What else could this old woman have seen? I saw the murderer at the time. I saw the murder at around 11 p.m. After asking for it, that it be reported, I went out into the main gate. And there I saw tracks. Tracks that indicated the snowmobile has been used. It's 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Bro, it's way... I guess you're still correct, less than 5, but that's like a minute. Maybe... And that's a 15-minute... What the frick? That's a 15-minute walk? Are you insane? But a 5-minute snowmobile ride. It's 3 turns, man. You see those trees? That home plate looking spot over there at the juncture? 1 car fits there. Are you dying? Maybe for you. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all. She also knows how to use a phone, and use a computer as well. Witness, please. She made sure to let everybody know that. Tell us everything you know right away next time. Well, I'm not in the best of my shape. Well, with my back and my age, you know. Quite. There were indeed some mobile tracks in front of the main gate. Can I see? Oh, thank you. Whose photograph? Snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, this really is an interesting theory. Well, there's no foot tracks going inside. I mean, there's some leaving, but tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple. And run all the way to Dusky Bridge. Tracked photo added to the court record. Trying to think. Let me look at that. There is no track information coming from, or steppers coming from the snowmobile, whereas there's only one set of footprints from Phoenix Wright running out of the area. So, and unless they took the exact same pathing, which does they ever do that in the snow? Like I do it sometimes. I'm 24 years old and I'll still when it snows try to take the same footprints. And when I'm walking through like a 16 inches of snow or whatever, you try to match the steppers coming back. There's only like one trail of footprints. But you doing that with the snowmobile? Solves your pesky little problem, yes. Ingvar River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in the winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Da Vinci? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please. So, like, what do we present that at? Saw the murder at around 11 p.m. After asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. There I saw tracks indicated that the snowmobile has been used. There's a 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into the Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. I could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all. I admit this photograph proves something. Excuse me. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. I finally accepted that the inevitable seems miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? What do you mean? Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge, and those from coming back. Ah, you're right. Huff. You were forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. Tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction, now doesn't it? Stop the thunder, lady! I see while she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. What do you say now, Miles Edgeworth? Is there a flare in her theory? The idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks? There's a contradiction. We have the weather data, the weather information to show it. The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. Would you care to explain why there is a rude index finger currently being pointed in my general direction? No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, please present your evidence to the contrary A. Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow. Weather data. Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Of course, this means that the weapon was thrown away after the time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report from Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7 p.m. but stopped at around 10:50. Ellipses. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after the time to have been covered up. Ah, critical hit! Dun, 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 dun. Order. What's that video, man? I'm looking it up. You spell Yu-Gi-Oh? It's like Y-U-G-I with dashes. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist ding 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 ding. It's so good. Order. Very well then. Looks like Ms. Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Wow, it's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. But Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this then. When is the weather report ever correct? Oh, no. You got it all wrong. This isn't the forecast, this is actual data. Forecast data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies. May have been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. It's true, we cannot be totally sure, eh? Why? How did she pull that off? Ding. It has stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this. Come this far, no turning back now. Very well. I too cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth? Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it has already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? You won't do anything for me. I do. Get out of here. I mean the other one. This footy's here. You frickin' frick. They're gonna be a little late. That's fine. I'm being a lawyer right now. Wish me luck. Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. Ellipses. If you want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I am referring to the photo of the crime scene. Can you just match who was the tiniest feet inside the at the temple last night? As you can see, everything is covered with snow, with just one exception, and that is the victim herself, Miss Ellie's them. I was more concerned about the footprints there. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. I don't know what that means, but okay. It had stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. Yeah. Other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph, there should be 2 sets of tracks. Dunk. Oh, critical hit, man. 2800 damage. Order, just order you. Yeah. What are you suggesting? I'm not entirely sure myself, but simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used a snowmobile to leave the temple. When the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading to Dusky Bridge. At the time, it was still snowing. Of course, it was because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then, when the person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained. Can I say something? That all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night of the question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder, which only can mean that night Iris used a snowmobile to go to the inner temple. But Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on that point some more when I get the chance. Dunk, 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 donkey, donkey. The mobile can't cross the suspension bridge, so she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge when crossed on foot. Sounds right. But what's odd is, when I left Iris and returned to the Hazakura temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura temple, it was there, by the main gate. The mobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too. But that is impossible. Order in the court. What does all this mean? So then, what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be two sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to the Hazakura temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. Dunk, 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 donkey, donkey. Donkey, donkey. Sorry, the wire. Alright, my bad. Aaron will be late and Kobe's MIA right now. So, Jeffrey might join us in a minute here. But we could just keep playing this for now. I think we've learned all that we can from this witness. Yes, just have nothing more to add. Told you everything that I know. But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? No one out, walking perhaps near Dusky Bridge that night. I don't think that's likely. Cold enough to freeze your ears off. One idiot would go out and wandering like that, unless they had something really important to do. That's a shame. Hold on. Something's coming to me. Idiot may have, well, been gone wandering on the sub-Arctic night. Your Honor? Actually, there just may be one individual who may be of help to us. Really? You know someone who might have been seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are two things about him that come to mind, which are first, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder. Second thing being, this individual that I am thinking of when wandering outside on the cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot. Was that Ruth? Who was this idiot you're talking about? Take that! This guy must be a product of Jean-Luc the Doc's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting. This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim, at least Doc's her student. Interesting. Why would he be wandering about outside on the night of the murder? That's... I could tell them all about his designs for Iris, but it may cause us with his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him, although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate and reliable-looking man, what exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract that information from him right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as the witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for the trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry, you may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute recess. Sorry, a break. Ms. Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness. Dunk, 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 dunk. Understood, Your Honor? Good. Well then, court is now in recess. Save. Excuse me? Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not really sure what to say. Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene. Alright, I'll help you any way I can. First, about that night. You really didn't go to the Inner Temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met you and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying. Mr. Edgeworth, it is just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple. Very well. Second thing, then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile? There was only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me. So it was you. But why? What made you go out to the Dusky Bridge? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Aw, frick, man. Iris, I can't tell you about that yet. Yet? Not until her safety is confirmed. Her, the safety of the Acolyte. The Acolyte. She must be talking about Maya. Iris, look at me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Doxenham? No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life. It's a thought of Cyclops. Dude, they must be like siblings. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. February 9th, 6 a.m. Court will now reconvene. Ms. Von Karma, where is the witness? During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior. He was sketching something very intensely. Areas where the witness was sketched. When he was detained, he drew a terrifying woman armed with a demonic face and vicious liquid. I can only presume that his intention was to capture you. Wow. Anyway, it's time to drag the pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. Maurice Doxenham, I hope you're ready. Get in here. It would seem the whip is going to see plenty more use today. Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Hey, I was reading that. Ouch. You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your Sapona, correct? Look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist training out in the mountains. I went down here in the city because I ran out of the green paint. Well, to use a technical term for the color, iridium. Larry, this isn't an art store, now is it? I know I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is all about working in the fields, isn't it? Working in the fields. I presume you wanted to say field work, I hope. That's it, thanks buddy. Kind of sad that I was able to understand his mangled trainer makeup sentence. I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I got nothing to do with that trial at all. I expect all your faces to be red when you realize the mistake. Bright red. Or to use a technical term, Crimson Lake. Ooh, ouch. Ooh, ouch. Ouch. Ooh, ouch. Stop your pathetic blabbling and testify like a man. Refrain from whipping me, Mr. Von Karma. Cross-whipping. This is as bad as cross-checking. Witness, that was all your fault. Testify now. Wow, this is too much for me. What I saw. I was at the lodge out in the mountains, looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now, aren't I, Edgy? You freaking frick, you saw things try to tumble off the bridge. Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during this testimony. I'm just a nobody, nothing but a small, worthless man, aren't I? And why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation or anything else? Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. And he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people. Yeah, that's right, I'm behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy. Well then, let's proceed with the cross-examination with no touching, thank you. We can delve into other details at a later time. My menu solved Phoenix Wright. I didn't mean to press, I meant to present. He didn't meet with anyone? That's right, because I've got nothing to do with this. I'm just here to buy some Viridian paint, okay? Come on, I expect to see those Crimson Lake faces now. It appears that simply pressing him isn't going to be enough, Mr. Edgeworth, indeed. Going to claim to have nothing to do with this to the end. I don't want this guy to cost us any more time. I need to slice through his... I know, I hit the wrong button. Objection! Larry Butts. I understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic, and you cause a source of trouble. I'm sorry, but it's kind of mean, having realized just how much of a nuisance you have been. That could be considered a step in the right direction. Edgy, are you trying to console me? It really doesn't sound that way to me. However, want to hydrate? The donkey. Can I forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create? Wow. Totally pinning this on me. Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Mr. Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts. The donkey. That's right, me in the flesh. Listen carefully, witness. Doesn't matter if you change your name, so long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change. But what do you want me to do then? Larry, what you need to change is your inner self, but for now, what you saw that night, testifying truthfully about that one issue is all I need from you. Edgy? I think I finally woken up. Ellipses. Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it, I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. I'll ask again then. Witness, what did you see on the night of the murder? What I saw, part 2. I went to the shack around 9, so it would be about 10:30 p.m. Lying under my bedding, when a white flash almost blinded me. Sleep with the door open, man? You sleep in a shack and sleep with the door open in the middle of the winter? Looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire. That's not a freaking window, man. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. Certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So, what happened to the bridge after you were caught on fire? Like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. It totally burnt out. Like almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall. What did you say? Oh, don't worry, nothing life-threatening. It's just caught a cold. Never know what that man if he gets to be called lucky or unlucky. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination. I don't know what I want to do here. It's definitely based on the lightning. Thunder. Thunder lightning. Still some thunder. On fire. White flash. The lightning. And we'll make our way down. We'll just press all 3. That light was, of course, lightning. Like, kerpow. Like a slap from Naomi, honestly, a big bada boom. Aga. Or a little like that. Ah, that's more like a punch from Miranda. Witness, did you actually see the lightning hit the bridge? Well, I was a bit startled by the flash of light, so... Muskie Bridge was on fire. Seeing that, what did you do? What do you think? I was burning up all with a will. I was burning up as well from the fire in my heart. And that's why you went to take a look at the bridge. Well, to be honest, it was freezing cold, so at the first I thought, forget it, I'm leaving my covers. But it had pretty much stopped snowing, so I don't know, I changed my mind. I'm not sure I care for the forget it attitude you had at first, Witness. Hold it! Said right away. But exactly how long after the strike was that? The lightning fell and then the bridge caught on fire, maybe around 5 minutes. Suddenly thought, gotta go check this out. How far is the small shack you were in the bridge? Hold on, Will. It pretty much stopped snowing. Why, hello. That's fine. One sec, one sec. My bad, I'm back. Hi. Hello, Jeffrey. He's muted, that's fine. Hold on, well, it was pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about a 5-minute walk. And how did Dusky Bridge look when you got there? Like I had recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids made during school camping trips can compare. Well, should I press him for the hallways? Why didn't you call anyone? Larry, let me ask you one thing. What is it, Edgy? Horse with a serious face, why didn't you call anyone? What do you mean? Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try to tell someone. There's a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct? Well, of course I thought of doing that. So then, let's hear why you didn't. Well, yeah, okay. My reason is that I didn't try to tell anyone, I just didn't have time to, okay? You were there for a while, man. It's a 15-minute time, right? Or something like that? The weather data? Very existence being contradiction, I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not. What the hey, Edgy, you make me sound like some sort of alien. But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. Problem here is time. Never been the best timekeeper, you know? 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible it is, you don't. Much more simple. You saw the lightning strike at Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what happened. Is that correct? Yeah, well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less. I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. So it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge, meaning you probably got there at around 11. All sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up, and did his falling act. That is impossible. What do you mean? 11 p.m. was when the murder occurred at Hazakura Temple. Thus, Wright was still there, in the courtyard. There was no way that Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge at that time. Excuse me, I have an objection. You do? Edgy? How many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry. I'm Maurice Doxton. It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. Sister only said around 11, in which case it could have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Francesca von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery, for there is still no way that Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge 11. Why not? Clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15 p.m. Which means what exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames of the night. In fact, he did not arrive to the scene until after the flames had died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m., but Wright did not make it there until 11:15. Suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during those missing 15 minutes? Irk. I feel like I just got brutally woken up by a weird splashback. It's like I was still sleeping. I was reading that. Don't skip the text to me. Order, guy. So there was a missing 15-minute period prior to meeting Phoenix Wright. I hardly see that as much as a problem. You're not much of a problem at all. Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes, and there is a phone right next to it? Why, then, did you not report the accident? Miss Witness, why didn't you? Were you there simply to watch the bridge burn? And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burnt out, he was still there. Staring into space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty. That's what it sounds like. Ah, but this is Larry we were talking about, and even he is incapable of being so stupid. Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction. Edgy? I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude. Just as I thought, you've been playing with us this whole time. Listen, I'm going to tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all? Yes. I may really say this time everything. Kaka? Then say it. Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this. However, let's have this witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, with this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness? Missing 15 minutes. I'm a Doxnum. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped into a frenzy of art. The shock and all that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized it, the flames had gone out and he had come running out. Suppose artists can be strange folk. That's right. I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch, including the truth from the sound of it. Mr. Edworth, has this removed the last of your doubts? Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains. What would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us till now? I intended to drag the reason out of him. Ha ha ha. You'll regret this, Edgy. You'll regret this, Edgy. Can I see the picture? Sketching the burning bridge? The burning bridge and everything that came with it. What came with it? You want to hear this from my lips, don't you, Edgy? You'll regret this. Sketch of mine is... Gah. Enough. Just take the ridiculous sketch of yours out already, witness. Oh, what are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. It does indeed appear to be the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edworth. I want to see the picture. The entire world may be changed by what's depicted there. Look at the sketch. Larry, I wonder if you could show us that sketch, please. Well. Even I couldn't have imagined it turn out like this. Imagine what? That the restocking's debut take place here, today. Like this. Ouch. Show it now? Okay, but steel yourselves. This is the world of Larry Stockton. Ah? Well. So this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Ms. Von Karma? Yes, well. It's a better drawing than I expected. Isn't it? Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames, I really did. Yeah, I'm sure you did. This is going to get ugly. No one has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry? What? The burning bridge is fine. But, what is that unfortunate looking figure? Ah, you spotted that? I thought you might. However much I might want to ignore it, I can't. It's Iris, of course. Iris. I wish she'd take a better care of herself. We had to plan for a future, you know. What would have happened to her if she had injured herself flying like that? Larry, please, answer the next question honestly. Okay. Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant? Flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames? Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist, a real artist. Are you the girl? She's really hot in this picture. What? What was that for? This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory. Please whip your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your wild theories. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly. Actually, there is some precedent for this. She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. She was about 30 feet above the bridge at least. It was really something to see. This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring the witness back down to earth. What? Me? The witness is your friend, is he not? Accessory to foolishness? Miles Edgeworth. Let's get back to the cross-examination by force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose this obvious contradiction here. Yes, Your Honor. I think I've got another reason to remember this moron. Well, what do you think of my debut piece? Get that thing away from me. Horrible sketch of what he saw the night of the crime. Now hurry up and cross-examine him. I'm in dog snip. Okay, hold on, where is it? Her white hood fluttering. Brother, she didn't have a white hood. Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care. In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I drew exactly what I saw. I'll give you the whole dollar that is the truth. If that is truly the case, then there is one thing that we can say for certain. What might that be? That person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant Iris. Is there a white hood on that character? I can't see as my overlay. What do you mean? I don't understand. What? A foolhardily foolish of a foolish statement by an equally foolishly foolhardy fool. How exactly can you make that claim? Tell us, Larry. According to this picture. I cannot see up there. The individual whom you say you saw was wearing a hood, correct? Of course she was. That run-down shack is quite away from the bridge. The hood is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. It seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense's bench. Larry, something you need to be made aware of. Night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps suggest that Wright was the one who took flight? What are you talking about? I think you understand what I mean just fine. Why? Why did Nick have Iris's hood? What? Edgy, what's going on with Nick, Iris and Nick? Why you, Nick, you dog? I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch, destined to disappear, discredited and discarded, straight into the garbage. Ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Haga. What is it now, witness? Feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy. Today's the day I get to completely stupefy you. But what? What's the meaning of your outburst, witness? I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence. Definitive evidence. Iris did indeed come flying over that burning bridge. And I, Maurice Doxnam, shall prove it. I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in the sketch, and show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality. Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy. I'm going to feed you as a whopping serving of pain. You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this whole time, trust me. Proof that Iris flew. When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. Led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere. Hair buried in the snow, covered in blood. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. Hello, boys. A crystal sphere? This one. Pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers. That sphere? Where did you find it? Let me see. Around here somewhere. Looks about right. And it was half buried in the snow. It had pretty much stopped snowing by then. There was still some falling as I walked to the bridge. Hello, Aaron. The court accepts this crystal sphere. That's mine, okay? I want it back afterward.
I still have to, do dishes. It'll be another
That's fine, take your time.
15 minutes or so.
That's fine.
Alright. Right back.
Okay, something on it. Oh my, it's blood. What? Blood? Crystal sphere added to the court record. Found half covered in snow near Dusky Bridge the night of the crime has blood on it. You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's going to push me around anymore. Didn't you want to be called Larry Stockton only a few minutes ago? Larry. That night, there was someone who lost a crystal sphere. There was? Who? Who was that stupid idiot? Miss Elise Doxnum, the mentor to a stupid idiot, the victim. I have a photo of her here that you drew, matter of fact. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere. Hey, that's my photograph. Give it back. Sorry, it wasn't a drawing. It's a photograph. Crystal sphere that like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch. There's nothing alike. In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff at the scene of the crime. Ah, the crystal sphere is gone. What? 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 Huh? So what does this mean? If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night? Certainly was not Iris, after all. She was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either. That means that one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim of Elise Doxnum? A fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected. You can't do that, I saw it with my own two eyes. And this crystal sphere is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought. I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Liz Doxnam was in her room in the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, the sphere cannot be related to the case. That's all. Objection. Miss Francesca von Karma. The only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns. Why are you pointing at me? The victim's crystal sphere was found under the bridge on the night of the murder? Yet you expect us to believe this trial? This has nothing to do with this case? That crystal sphere was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. After the murder, there is blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent, which is the exact same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch. What? You mean I'm the killer? No, what? All joking aside, just when did this crystal sphere appear next to the foot of the bridge? Unless that can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe that is related to the case. She makes a valid point. There is no evidence that the auction left Hazakura Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else entirely. I'm going to say yes I can, obviously. I can absolutely, positively say that I can find this. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment. Miles Edgeworth. Can I prove it? I can prove it. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Can I prove it? This isn't an issue. Simply prove it. It's the only option. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would win this. Would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is the vital link to solving this case. You will do what? Look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he's cornered. It should have come to no surprise, because right now I am Phoenix Wright and I am indeed cornered. I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Evidence that proves that this crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder. I don't think I have it. As of right now, I have no idea. I don't know why I show him the crime scene photo, so maybe it's inside that. Crystal sphere. It was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. Snow would have totally covered it. That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Testimony makes one thing quite clear. What? When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing. Even if it was ever so slightly. Snowing. On the other hand, let's look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Ah? I thought I wanted to point at the picture and say, this is why I think this is... Nope. Therefore, crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder. What? Waluigi. Order. On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to the Dusky Bridge, and there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal sphere to come loose. What? What could that have been? This sphere. Some blood in it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge. Objection! The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness. Just who is the fool? And what part is foolish? Is my question. Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. Saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Objection! It's not exactly true, now is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body. That's the same thing. No, it isn't. You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of the blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from the body, that would be when the blade is removed. And that statement is the truth. The Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scent of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding. You are forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. Liz Dawson's body was found in Hazakura Temple. On foot takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all that way? Just thinking, Snowmobile. I've only made it this far. I made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of the events is absolutely perfectly plausible. Now, if the defense is ready, the court will like an explanation. The track scene photo, I guess. Please show us the method by which the victim's body was transported. Tracks photo, not track scene. On that snowy night, there is one way that a body could have been moved. The snowmobile. Ah. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but that could have also been used to carry a body. Order. Yeah, this is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You dug yourself into your own grave. What do you mean? The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in her coffin? Ha, you're too late, Franziska von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation. What? Who was the victim whose doctor really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for. And finally, just what does this image mean? Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it. This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm in that point. Edgy. Thank you. Settles it then? I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Grr. Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. Franziska von Karma, you make a wonderful bargain. Excuse me? There was one reason, and one alone, for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it on to Wright. Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me from the very beginning, and I wouldn't have had frenzy whipping it out like that. Dang. Miles Edgeworth, I don't care about what you were here to do. My chance to finally grind you under my heel. Shame that your chances seem to have slipped by you by. What a shame. Frenzy. This is all your fault. Such a terrible witness. You were a front to all of my something. Ow, ow, ow. And the man satisfaction. She's murdered Larry Butts with a whip. I cannot believe this that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there is to be some sort of answer for the questions it raises. Have his words here today, and the truth relies. Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I'm counting on you thorough investigations by both the defense and the prosecution. And with this is up to you, right? Court is now adjourned. When he's out of the hospital, at least. They continued. Dong 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 dong. I want to see my progress over this